But we'll go ahead and move on to the final two fights on the card. We got the main event and the co-main. The co-main is Robert Whittaker taking on, that's Bobby Knuckles, of course, taking on Jared Cannonier, the Killer Gorilla. Who do you have here and why on this one?
This one I can see why people think they can't.
Odds are close. Yeah.
The odds are close. So Cannonier is a slight favorite. And I can kind of see why, right? He's on a winning streak, but he's got incredible power. Heavyweight, moved all the way down to the middleweight. We know the story, but I just don't understand how people are discounting. And a lot of people are. I don't want to be dramatic. I say people are discounting Robert Whittaker, but for the odds makers to say that it's Jared Cannonier as a slight favorite, any favorite, is surprising to me. I think that Robert Whittaker has so much experience in high-level fights, and this is only a three-round fight, which is kind of crazy because, I feel like it should be a 5-round fight, which is all, that's the last 4 fights that Robert Whittaker has competed in. 3 of them have went the decision, 2 with Yoel Romero, 1 with Darren Till, a very skilled, dangerous striker, and I think that Darren Till fight is going to be the key to this one, right? If this was the first fight coming off of the Israel Adesanya fight, I would be
a lot more questions,
but I think he came out and he proved a lot of things that he's still at the top of his game. He's still dangerous all over the place. He's going to be this is probably not going to end up going to the ground, but no one is going to be hard to take him down. He's strong in the clinch. He can strike with the most technical striker probably 185 pounds in Darren Till. He won that fight. There was no controversy about it. I thought he looked at the top of his game after a pretty devastating knockout that he suffered to Israel Adesanya, and we know how good Izzy is. So there's no that's not but before that, he won like 9 fights in a row against who's who of 185 pounders.
10-1 in his last 11 now.
Exactly. And I just think that he has more ways to get it done when it comes to being able to not only look for finishes, but to also get it done in the eyes of the judges. His cardio is going to be there. His boxing is going to be on point. His leg kicks are going to be a factor. And I just see with that championship mindset that he's proven time and time again that Robert Whittaker is the guy that's going to get the job done. I see this going all 15 minutes, actually, and I feel that Robert Whittaker is going to have another pretty convincing decision win. I just see him being the better overall fighter. Nothing against, Jared Cannonier. Of course, he's a very scary guy with a lot of power, He's 3 TKOs in a row, but he hasn't fought for a year. A little bit over. I just see Robert Whittaker being the far away better MMA fighter at this point.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I think it's a decision win as well. Cannonier, pretty technically sound. You mentioned he's got the power. The level of competition is huge on who they fought. Well, Cannonier did fight Dominic Reyes. I believe he fought Jan Blachowicz. He lost those big fights. And Whittaker, you mentioned, lost to Adesanya, but most of those big fights he's winning. So because of that, I think Whittaker is a more dynamic striker. He has more tools, more ways to get it done on the feet alone rather than, if it goes to the ground as well. And while he's got that 4-inch reach disadvantage in this fight, he's exceptional at closing that distance. We've talked about it before. The quick blitzes in that he does. He's able to get in, surprise his opponents, and stun them in close with those blitzes. Man, and that also his fight IQ is second to none.
I guess that's the kind of the phrase I was looking for. Fight IQ, I think, is very. It's overlooked by people that break down and call fights and like fights. People forget, these people have to be thinking and on their, P's and Q's inside the cage to, if a finish is not there, to be able to win this fight over the course of 15 or 25 minutes, whatever the case may be. And you nailed it perfectly. Robert Whittaker has some of the best fight IQ in all of MMA. I think that's a big factor in this fight, and those leg kicks as well. He hurt Darren Till.
That is true.
He tore or sprained something in Darren Till's knee, so look for him to use that technique as well to try to slow down some of the power and forward pressure of Cannonier.
And going along with those leg kicks and with the fighter IQ, he's great at, he always has a good game plan going in, just like with those leg kicks with Till. He knew that was a way to slow him down.
And he'll look for takedowns at the end of rounds like he did to Till to make sure, hey, if this is a close round, I cement it, my round. And so those kind of things I feel like are going to play into a factor. I guess a tough guy like Cannonier.
Yeah. And, if Cannonier's able to pull this off, I think it's a knockout. I think that's the only way he is able to get it done. I don't think that happens. We're in agreement there. Bobby Knuckles by dominant decision win.